Hey guys, it is Thursday, May 7th. I am joined here today by Miss Piggy from Muppet Babies. I've kind of gone with the pig theme this week, not really sure why, but this is the third pig in a row I've got. If you enjoyed Muppet Babies, you might remember Miss Piggy from Muppet Babies. So she's here joining me today for our Read Aloud, and thank you for joining me as well. So let's get started taking a look at what we've got for today. Just a reminder, those learning opportunities changed on Monday. We'll send you new stuff again this Monday. Hang out today at 10 o'clock. I'm looking forward to seeing as many of you as I can. So please join us at 10 o'clock. I'll send out a message and I'll see you guys at 10 o'clock. So I'm looking forward to that. Free lunch and breakfast up at the high school. Get on up there and enjoy those. And feel free to contact me, Dojo, or email, or on my phone. So I'd love to hear from you guys. I've talked to a few of you guys this week. I love hearing from parents, and kids. So make sure let me know. I want to reach out. I want to hear from you guys. Stay safe and stay home. I also want to add, I hopefully will have a big guest star coming in for our hangout today. So make sure you tune in today for that hangout. Academics, we've got Prodigy. Make sure you're knocking that out. IXL, some of you guys are doing a phenomenal job on that. AR, keep that reading. Make sure you took the AR quiz on City of Ember. We finished that yesterday. We're going to start a new book. Big announcement today. New book. IXL, take a look at that. Social studies, make sure you check out, not the video, the post that I made in social studies. Take a look at that. It's pretty big and important. So make sure you check out social studies. And make sure you're checking out those links on Dojo from whether it's Mr. Buckley, Mr. Warner, Ms. Lesnar, or Mr. Newkirchen. So check those out. Here's those math items again. Reminder, I did put up a video going through all of these. It's like a 40-minute video. You can skip ahead and skip through it just to get to the ones that you want. But whether it's place value, here remember ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, hundred thousands, and millions. Prime and composite. Prime has two factors. Composites have more than two factors. Decimals, we get hundreds, grids. Two-dimensional figures, whether it's a line, segment, or array. And then angles. Here's our news story. Big announcement. It's Shredder Man. It's the third one. This one's called Meet the Gecko. So big announcement. Here it is. This is our new story that will be starting today. So here is the cover. I'll keep putting this up. We've got Nolan again. Remember when we left off in our last story, Nolan's parents found out that he is a superhero. So he's got a few adults now that know his true identity. And if you remember, he really liked the Gecko and Sticky program. So here is the back of the book summary, right? So this is what you'd usually see at the back of the book. And so I'll read this because I usually start that off. Even superheroes have problems. That's what Nolan discovers when he meets Chase Morton, the boy who plays his favorite TV superhero on The Gecko and Sticky. Chase is being hounded by a sleazy tabloid reporter who is evil, sneaky, a liar. So Nolan vows to expose the truth on ShredderMan.com. After all, superheroes have to stick together in the fight for truth and justice. Oh yeah. So that'll be our news story. The chapter's a little shorter, so I'll be doing like 2 chapters a day. So we'll start off with 2 chapters here. Starts off with chapter 1, big news. And this one's got some pictures in there, so you'll be able to see the pictures kind of as we go along as I read. So, I was in the middle of updating my Shredderman website when Dad barged through the bedroom. Nolan! I shot straight up, banged my knee against the desk. Dad! I spun to face him. Dad, you're supposed to knock. A month ago, this would have been a mammoth problem. A month ago, Mom and Dad didn't know that Shredderman, Cedar Valley's very own cyber superhero, was just an ordinary 5th grader. Me. But my parents had discovered my secret identity. which turned out to be okay. They liked having a cyber superhero son. So barging into my room as I was working on my secret Shredder Man site wasn't a problem. It was just painful. I rubbed my knee. You know, Knock. I know, Dad said. His head was bobbing like it was on the end of a big boingy spring. He stepped outside of my room and started making a big knocking motions on the sign taped to my door. Do not disturb. Knock, knock, knock. Knock, 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 knock. Shh. Concentrating. Knock, knock, knock. Sometimes parents can be so annoying. I rolled my eyes and called, Come in. Dad charged back in and sat on my bed. His eyes were big. His smile was practically cutting his face in two. And he was bouncing. Bouncing. You'll never guess what, he whispered. I had to laugh. What? Boingy, boingy, boingy. He grinned. I couldn't have come up with a better birthday present for you if I tried. Stop. I put up my hand. I hate when you tell me what my present is. It ruins everything. He froze mid-bounce. Even if that's how you get exactly what you want? Yes, I'd rather be surprised. Oh, he said. Then he started bouncing again. Well, this isn't exactly your birthday present. It just happens to be happening on your birthday. Dad. Ready for a hint? No. He picked up Sticky, my giant stuffed gecko, and shook it at me and saying, Chihuahua. Dad. He bounced about 2 feet in the air, laughing like a madman. Then he whipped his sunglasses out of his pocket and put them on Sticky. Hey, hombre, he said in his worst Mexican accent ever. I'm coming to your town. How would you like to meet me? Dad, what are you talking about? And then every hair on my body shot straight out. Do you? You don't. I mean, they can't. Boingy, 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 went my dad and Sticky on my bed. Oh, yes, they can. And they are. But why? When? That's my boy asking the who, what, when, where, and why. A chip off the old block, a reporter's reporter, a fellow investigator, a man after my own. Dad. Sorry, champ. Sorry. He cleared his throat and said, The whole cast and crew of the Gecko and Sticky are coming into town to film a back-to-back episodes. They think Cedar Valley's Old Town will make the perfect setting to have rented the entire historian hotel for 4 days. And because I'm the Gazette's #1 reporter, I get to cover the event. Wow! And, he said, leaning in, I've arranged an interview with the Gecko. Really? Uh-huh. On your birthday. And I get to come along? That's right. I told their publicity coordinator that it was your birthday and that you were a huge fan. He said, by all means, bring him along. My jaw was dangling. My eyes were bulging. I looked at the giant The Gecko and Sticky poster on my wall and whispered, I get to meet the Gecko? He put a supersized Sticky aside and said, well, you get to meet Chase Morton, the boy who plays the Gecko. Oh, right. I was still staring at the poster of him. Blue jeans, t-shirt, baseball cap, shades. He was the coolest superhero ever. He didn't need some funny disguise. The Gecko was a regular kid just like me, only older. Which had taken my parents forever to catch on to. I'd been watching the show for at least 6 months when my mom asked, The Gecko's the boy? I thought the Gecko was the lizard. She was having this revelation in the middle of a really great episode. That's right, I whispered, hoping she'd get the hint. But why isn't the boy named Sticky and the Gecko named the Gecko? Mom, I'm serious, Nolan. I don't understand this at all. I said really fast. Sticky's named Sticky because he's a kleptomaniac. He steals stuff like crazy. But I thought he was a good gecko. He is. He's just got a bad habit. But, Mom, I'm trying to listen. Okay, okay, I'll talk to you later. When she and Dad finally figured it out, they became fans too, especially of Sticky. You just can't help it. And Sticky, my dad was saying as he stared at the poster. Well, I imagine he's largely computer animated. I mean, there's no such thing as a talking gecko lizard, right? I looked at Sticky, grinning away on the gecko's shoulder. I knew he wasn't real, but he sure seemed real on TV. And yeah, the gecko's the superhero. He's the one with the magic Aztec wristband that gives him powers, like walking up walls or disappearing, or super strength, that sort of thing. But Sticky's the one who found the power band and gave it to him in the first place. He's the one who's funny and sassy and smart. It's easy to forget he's just animated or a robot or Nolan. Dad waved a hand in front of my face. Huh? Oh, right. I scratched my head. Computer animated. Of course. Cool. After all, I love computers, right? Computer animation is totally cool. Dad seemed to get a little concerned. You okay, champ? I'm great. This is so cool. Si, senor, my dad said, ruffling my hair. The gecko and Sticky meet Shredder Man. My eyes got big. My heart started racing. You didn't tell them, did you? Of course not. It's top secret. I know that. I let out a deep breath. It was weird enough that my parents and my teacher knew I was Shredder Man. No way did I want a kleptomaniacal lizard to find out. Or the gecko. After all, they were superheroes on TV. I was one in real life. Chapter 2. Impossible. Ooh, Bubba Bixby's name's right there. You guys remember Bubba. Bubba Bixby is someone I don't talk to if I can help it. He's big. He's me. He's got breath like moldy onions, and believe me, he's not afraid to use it. Bubba used to make fun of everyone and everything. Then I turned into Shredder Man. I caught him in the act of bullying and stealing. I posted his crimes and his big butt on the World Wide Web and challenged him to change his ways or pay. My teacher, Mr. Green, says it's been partial success. He says all the teachers watch Bubba more closely. He says Bubba is showing signs of maturing, and that if we all keep working at it, someday we'll find the key to his kindness. Ha! No matter what I do, Bubba still calls me nerd. Bubba still steals stuff. Bubba still lies, which is why Bubba's big butt is still on the World Wide Web. It's the only revenge I've got as long as he's a jerk, and that's where it's staying. Then, the day before my birthday, I saw Bubba at school and I barely recognized him. He was smiling. Bubba has lots of teeth, dirty, fangy teeth, and when he smiles, it's more like a big dog snarling. So normally when Bubba Bixby smiles, kids run. But this smile was different. It was happy? He was talking to his friends, Max and Kevin, acting like he just found $1,000,000. His hands were waving in the air. His eyebrows were flying up and down. His ears looked like they were trying to flap. I wasn't the only one who noticed it. Kids all over the playground were staring. They were circling around him, a safe distance away. Nobody knew what to think. Nobody had ever seen Bubba Bixby look like this before. Then I heard Ian McCoy say to his friend Vinny, "Wow, is that weird or what?" I did a few steps in my power walk until I was right next to Ian. "What do you think's going on?" I asked him. "Gotta be really diabolical," whispered Ian. "Yeah," Vinny added, "maybe even deadly." "Whatever he's planning," Ian said, "I hope I'm not on the receiving end of it." Then Vinny snapped his fingers and said, "Hey, maybe he's figured out who Shredder Man is." Double O. I tried to act cool as I asked, You think so?" "Yeah," Ian whispered. "That must be it. What else would make the Bubmeister that excited?" Ian and Vinny walked off, leaving me to sweat bullets alone. What if they were right? What if he figured it out? What if this was my last day on planet Earth? I watched Bubba a little longer, then decided that there was only one way to find out. I took a deep breath. I snugged down the straps of my backpack, and I walked straight up to Bubba and his friends and said, "Hi, guys," pretending I was cool as dry ice. "What's going on?" There's Nolan, there's Bubba, and there's Bubba's friends. Bubba stared at me. "Who's this guy?" he said to the other two, pretending that he'd never seen me before. "Dunno," Max said, "but he sure looks like a nerd," they all cried together, then started laughing. I'd never been so happy to be called a nerd in my whole life. It meant they didn't know. They didn't have any idea I was Shredder Man. I let out the breath I'd been holding since I started talking really fast. "Hey, you don't have to be calling me names. We were just looking pretty excited, that's all. I thought it might be something, great, fantastic, amazing, maybe even awesome, astounding, or out of this world." Wow, I was a regular yapping machine. Bubba thought so too. "Shut up, nerd." "Yeah," Kevin added. "You sound like a stupid thesaurus." Both Bubba's eyebrows shot up at Kevin. "Thesaurus? Thesaurus?" He hitched his thumb my way. "You sound like him, dork." Max said, "Kevy, I was just trying to explain things in a way that a nerd would understand." Kevin nodded like crazy, saying, "Honest, I didn't never touched a thesaurus." Bubba shrank back down to Godzilla size and snorted, "Good thing." And he turned to me and said, "Now scram, you're ruining my good mood." So believe me, I started power walking out of there. But then I overheard Kevin say to Bubba, "So go on, I want to hear more about meeting the gecko." I came skidding to a halt and froze for a whole nanosecond. Then I threw my power walk in reverse and said, "Did you say you're going to meet the gecko?" "I said scram," Bubba shouted. "Yeah," Kevin added. "Scram, nerd." But, are you really going to meet the gecko? How?" A crazy part of me wanted to tell him that I was going to meet him the next day for my birthday. Max leaned at me and said, "He'll figure out a way, nerd. He's like his #1 fan." I almost said, "No, he's not." But they all shouted scram, so I zoomed out of there. But still, I couldn't believe it. This was impossible. Or at least one of the weirdest things since the discovery of quirks. Bubba Bixby and I had something in common. So, those are the first two chapters. Chapter 3 will be Secret Knock, and we'll find out what that means tomorrow. However, make sure you take the AR test on City of Ember. So the quiz number is 69274, and it's worth 9 points. So make sure you take that AR quiz if you haven't already. It's available, so it's right there. And I hope you guys enjoyed that one. I thought it was pretty good. So that concludes today's read aloud. So we started a new story. I hope you guys are excited about another Shredder Man story. I know Miss Piggy is. So keep tuning in. I'll read a couple chapters each day, and hopefully we learn more about what happens for Nolan's birthday. I hope you guys are having a great day. I look forward to seeing you guys at 10 o'clock for our Google Hangout, and look forward to hearing from you guys. So have a great day. I'll talk to you later.